And we are live. What's up, writing weirdos? Hey, everybody. As you can see, I have the wonderful Tamara Woods and the wonderful Carol Brown with me today, and we are feeling our Fridays, which means we're feeling the end of our week.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a slump, but that's what everybody is here for. And here's Kissy. Here's Kissy to love. She wants to be a star.
She is a star.
What a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a few people joining us. We have Drew is joining us for the first time on the channel today. We just met over on another stream a few minutes ago, so it was nice to see you and meet you. It's nice to make your acquaintance. And Devin is here, of course. Always good to see you, Devin. Tamara is over in my chat as well as on my screen, which is pretty awesome. Ms. Barbara is here today. Good to see you, Barbara. Carol's hitting the like button and doing a magic trick for us, which means, woo, she's on the screen.
Boo.
Magic trick. Boo.
Lame.
Oh, man. I thought it was a pretty sweet trick. Nobody was expecting it. Come on. I wasn't on the thumbnail to be like, what's this Carol person doing? It's like, oh, look at that. She's on the screen.
True. I didn't have time to change it between when you said, I will be there, let me log on. All right, so Sarah Keefe is also with us today. Devin's super happy to see Kissy. Bonnie Phillips here today. Good to see you, Bonnie. Barbara also very happy to see Kissy on the screen. Naked Firefly is here. I saw her this morning on her stream. Good to see you, Naked Firefly. And Wendy Scribbles is here. Oh, and Bonnie's got a little praise for your book, Carol.
So thank you.
I am agreeing with it because I am also in the middle of reading it. I've gotten super distracted. It's been terrible, like trying to pack my house at the same time that I decided to start a book right before packing my house, because all I want to do is read. And I'm just like, nope, I have to go, and I have to do all this adulting crap off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Ms. Alleycat 107 is here as well. It is good to see you all. So now that we got a few of our hellos out of the way, I will go ahead and let my guests do their intros, and we will start with Ms. Tamara.
Hello, my name's Tamara Woods, and I'm a cozy mystery author. And today I have been under the weather for the past few days, so I'm kind of trying to remember what I was doing beforehand. So, hello. One moment.
Totally cool. All right, we'll let Ms. Caro do your intro while Ms. Tamara figures out who's knocking at her door.
Hi, my name is Carol Brown. I'm very tired right now, so you get Sleepy Caro today. I'm here today to work on some edits. I sent in a manuscript to an editor, and I made it the best it could be, but then one of my betas said that you should flesh out this one scene. So I'm just going to flesh out the scene because the editor's doing developmental edits, so when it gets back, I can just put it in there. That's my plan.
Cool. So I am actually going to work on some Pinterest graphics for today. So I make almost all of my graphics in Canva. I play with Photoshop a little bit, but I like making all of my graphics in Canva. And I have graphics for, of course, Instagram, my YouTube thumbnails, things like that. But I want to take my YouTube thumbnails and turn them into Pinterest graphics so that I can get a little more traffic to my channel. So that is what I am working on today. And it's just time consuming and a little tedious. It's not actually like work, but I got a lot of writing done already today. I was on the Naked Firefly stream in her chat earlier today, not on her screen, but in her chat, and managed during her sprints to pull off 1,529 words. And then Hike Creative, I was just in her chat as well over on her sprints, and I managed to pull off total. I managed to pull off 5,266 words after I added Naked Firefly's sprints together with Hype Creative. So I'm pretty excited with my writing for today, so I figured I could switch to some graphics.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. So Elizabeth Fairfax is here. Hi, Elizabeth. Good to see you. And Barbara said that her dog landed in her lap. Great magic trick, but slow typing. Yes. It's very slow having to type, and I can commiserate with Caro on having German Shepherd's heads in your lap. It's very slow to work around the German Shepherd head.
I'm sorry, I thought she was gonna jump on me again. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Okay. Wendy Scribble says, "Don't they know visitors are not allowed at this time?"
No,
That was the postman.
Oh, okay. Well, we can forgive the postman for not knowing, that you were on a stream today at this time.
So awkward. But I got my notepads. Yay!
Yay! We love notepads.
We can always pause for stationery. We can always pause for stationery. It's an amazing thing.
And
so
the hair stuff that Kara recommended.
Oh yeah, we like that stuff.
I guess I missed that.
Oh, so like I posted like I've been a year on AuthorTube video, and then like my Facebook like exploded with like, how did you get your hair to grow that long? And I was like,
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember lots of comments of, "Oh my God, I can't believe your hair grew that long in that amount of time."
Yeah, 7 inches.
I was like, I want my hair to grow longer. My hair grows very slowly.
If my hair grows any faster and any longer, I'm going to be going. My stylist is just going to have to move into my house. So,
yeah, Mr. Brown went to go get a haircut today. You want to cut your hair? It's like, it'll just be the same length tomorrow. Don't bother.
Yeah. So CO is here. Good to see you, CO. And in your lap, it's very slow to work around the German Shepherd. What the heck?
Not. Why are you? They're all just coming in now, and asking for pets.
Hello. Sorry, I thought she was going to jump on me again. I was like, "What are you doing?" There we go. Somehow my screen decided to unmute itself, despite the fact that it was muted before. Okay, so what we're saying is that CO is happy that they get to interact with us multiple times a week. So it's so nice.
Oh my God. Hi.
Bonnie is playing with some editing software, trying to figure it out. Allie's wanting to know how everyone is doing. And Wendy definitely says that package delivery is always an exception.
Yeah, it's still pretty early here, so if I get a package, it's gonna be during a stream. That's the golden rule, it seems.
Okay. It makes sense. If I get a package, it's gonna usually be during whoever is in the afternoon stream. So if it's anytime after about 11:30 in the morning here, that's when the packages will come. So, or at least in my hood, that's when the packages come. Hey Jennifer, good to see you. Another Brown. We just like to take over the world,
One brown at a time.
One brown at a time. One brown at a time. And the cool thing is I'm always like, how Kara, you're always like, and BC is here, and it's no relation, and I'm always like, cool. So Kara is here, no relation. So now I get to say, and Jennifer is here, no relation.
No relation. At least we're consistent.
Yep, we are consistent. So Wendy was wondering what was the hair stuff that you got, Tamara?
It's argan oil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's something that you put in your hair to help like strengthen it. Especially if you're like me and you let somebody kind of like come in and bleach and do stuff to the ends of your hair, so it just kind of like keeps that from breakage and all that stuff.
Because I have other argan oil stuff, like my leave-in hair conditioner from a different company, but they all have the same color.
Scheme.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty common association with argan oil, to associate that color for some reason. I don't know.
Maybe it's like colors with like different kinds of genres, because you usually they follow like a kind of color scheme, so maybe they do that with hair products too.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Is along those lines. I've covered in videos before that different genres have different branded color schemes that are just associated because it's psychological in nature. Mm-hmm. So all of that is part of color theory and color psychology that is used in marketing all the time. That was one of the biggest things that since I am in marketing, when I was going through all my training and stuff like that, was talking about the different associations of color and how to get that all proper, and no matter what you associate it with, you have to think of what the end user will associate it with. And so everybody's loving Kitty up in the shot.
Yeah. No, that was the one that you just saw. That was my 100-pound dog, Ranger.
Oh, that was Ranger, yeah.
Yeah, that was Ranger. The one that showed up in the start of the stream, that was Kissy. And at some point, I'm sure Mac and Bones will show up. We'll see.
Well, you know, Mac will probably just be at your feet like usual, but
You'll hear him.
True. All right. Well, we went ahead and got pretty much everybody is welcomed and our intro's done. So I think we should just jump right into a 20-minute sprint. What do you think, ladies?
Sounds great.
Yeah. All right. So we will get 20 minutes put on the screen. And we will start in 3, 2, 1. Sprint! If it will do it. Oh, dang it. Hold on.
The betrayal of the internet.
Yeah, it's so we're gonna do a 235-minute sprint according to this thing.
Well, something changed.
Not the timer I had pulled up and ready to go. So give me a second, everybody, and we will go back to the timer I had pulled up. I liked this timer because it was nice and big and really simple. Not that this one isn't, but come on. What is going on? All right, let me figure this out real quick.
We are the Twin Tails. Hello. I don't think I've met you before. How are you?
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've seen you on the channel before either. Hello, Twin Tails. Yeah, and Barbara's laughing at me because my tech is glitching.
Warp speed.
Yep.
Internet is giving us peer pressure.
It is. I was trying to write, but geez, it was like write a whole bunch more than what you were thinking of writing. All right, we're going to try this again.
Who in the holy hell needs a 235-minute timer? Sorry.
I know, right, Sue? All right, so let's try this again. 3, 2, 1. Sprint! Yay! Okay, so that
Good morning.
so that is the end of our first sprint. How did everybody do?
Math. I will do math and find out.
I have decided that I'm going to read through what I've written. That's what I'm doing, and I'm taking notes in my new notepad.
And you need a pad.
Yeah.
And like
Model it. I need
the cover has like the vinyl thing happening,
Oh.
so that's weird. And most of my the steno pads I have, they'll have like the line down the middle, but this one doesn't. And it's college ruled. You care nothing about any of this, but I care so much.
I'm here for this.
No, I'm pretty sure most of us are here for this, so it's all good.
Like, tell me more about this notepad that you got.
I was like, how do you look? And I like shoved one underneath the green screen because he's on the other side. And I was like, feel it. And he's like, oh yeah, it has a weird cover. I was like, you don't care about my life. And he's like, I don't
understand me. You don't understand.
Right?
He's a math guy. I mean, he's your math guy, not your writer guy. So
he's like, notepads aren't your life. And I was like, you don't know me at all.
No. There was I keep thinking about when I could go to my physical group, but one individual came and she brought some pages and she read them. And so we got to the time we were about to do feedback. And I was like, okay, first off, we all have the very same thought that I just need to go ahead and just say it. And she was like, what is this? Like, this paper's too good for us. Like, this is like really nice quality. We are scum. We deserve like the 5-cent paper. You must have like what? Like, was this like 10 cents each? And she's like, this is what I got at Staples. And I was like, go cheap next time. We are not worthy of this nice paper. It was like all smooth and it was kind of like firm. And I was just like, oh.
Or you're just like rubbing it against your face.
I did that. And somebody brought like fancy paper with like a different texture. And all I was doing while they were reading was just touching the sides of it.
Petting the page.
This is a thing, okay? This is a thing.
It's great. It's great. All right. So did you do your maths, Caro?
I did. While I was editing and fleshing stuff out, I got 394 more words.
Nice. Very nice. So I ended up doing 2 Pinterest designs for basically turning my thumbnails into Pinterest thumbnails. So I got 2 of them done. I'm trying to make them look kind of the same, but yet not totally the same. So I was playing with different stuff to figure out how I could like do all of that. So we had a couple of people pop in. We had our wonderful wild blind or near partially blind alien popped in for us.
Hey, Dal.
Hi,
Dal. And we had a mythical unicorn that popped in.
Hi, fan.
Nice to see you, Allie. Still digging on the avatar. So, you know, we were all just fangirling over dual monitors that Allie has. So
that's super cool.
I'm super excited because I got dual monitors, but I don't get them until we're in the new house. So they're sitting in boxes. I can see them. They're like right there. I could pet them if I wanted to, but if I'm afraid that I'll actually open them if I do pet them. And I've been told that they go along with my new desk and like my new setup in general for my lights. And I'm pretty sure my partner has been hinting at getting me a GoPro Hero 8 to do my videos with, because he was like, how would you feel about doing your videos with a GoPro? I know it's an action camera, but I would think it would be good for, you know, your type of videos too, since you move around so much. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'll do videos with whatever. If you're feeling like spending the money, that's for sure. So, and Haley popped into the chat while we were gone. Didn't get a notification, but also here on 2 devices. So that makes sense.
If it makes you feel better, we were trying to find BC Stream. Like we were like, we can't even find it.
I couldn't find it on my
stream too.
Channel. I was like, I found the link. Tamara found it before I could find it.
Thanks, YouTube. Thanks.
Yeah. So Haley says that her TV is her YouTube and her laptop is her comments. I do that a lot for the early morning sprints, like for Lisa's sprint and for the Naked Firefly sprint. I'm just in bed watching, and it's all up on the TV, and then I just comment in the. So
that's the opposite for me. I do that for the evening ones because then I'm on my couch and I have like my phone for commenting, and I'll watch it on the screen.
I haven't. I'll lurk on them and I'll listen, but like I don't usually. I'm not in the comments because I'm like playing my game and I'm like.
Yeah. And Zoe popped into the chat as well. Good to see you, Zoe. Oh, and StreamYard just jumped.
Come here. What's going on? Did you come to say hi too? Now I just need one more dog to show up and the cycle is complete.
So the Naked Firefly is waiting for the baby to fall asleep to Golden Girls. We shouldn't ask. She just falls asleep to the show.
Let's see, she has great taste.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing. So Haley got comfy, and got started on turning art into button and sticker designs. Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
That's very cool.
I thought about doing that with some of my art, but I'm not sure if I should or not. I don't know. Sarah Keith got 463 words. Really nice.
Very nice.
Allie Cat, editing chapter 5 and really close to finishing it.
Awesome.
Wendy got 207 words. Zoe squeezed in 32 words at the end of the sprint, so that's good. Apparently, the alarm clock scared the tar out of Jennifer Brown.
Yeah. I definitely sat up a little bit.
It's like, woo! Yeah, because I'm always looking for, things that I can hear. And so I was like, I can hear this. It's probably going to be really annoying to everybody else, but. And Barbara got 326 words.
Very nice. Y'all kicking it today. Y'all doing so good.
Everybody's doing a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Barbara was referring to the pretty paper that the person brought in, and Wendy says that's my husband's reactions whenever I squeal over a beautiful cover of a new book. Yeah, my partner doesn't quite get me squealing over cover art and things like that. I mean, he appreciates it, but
it's just not the same for some people, I think.
Mm-mm.
True.
When I was a teacher, we said that they could never do a reality show about teachers because it would be a lot of us just going like, "Oh my goodness, look at these whiteboard markers. These are like really good quality. Like we gotta squirrel these away." Like,
True.
That's like 40% of what we're doing. Is like, who's got the good whiteboard markers? Do you? Like, I just need one, just one.
I know exactly what you're talking about. So I went to school to be a teacher. I didn't end up ever actually being in a classroom outside of like my practicum and stuff like that, but. I did end up working for an after-school literacy program here in Arizona. And even though I was doing marketing for them, I still was in one of the after-school programs and like in charge of it. That way I could understand what it was I was marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always like you could tell which teachers were, I don't know, the beloved of the staff. Because you'd get into their room and they'd have the best whiteboard markers, and then everybody else would have the horribly crappy whiteboard.
The hand-me-down markers, yeah, the ones that were in the joint faculty room. It was like, if you need any supplies, they'll all be in here. It's like all falling apart. Like, they've got like curriculum from like 10 years ago that's out of date, and they're like, here, this will be useful for you. It's like, it's not even in standard. Like, I can't use this.
What is going on? Yeah.
Hashtag teacher problems. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. All right. So Haley wants to know if they can go ahead and share their galaxy brain moment with everyone. Not enough people have laughed at them today. Haley, share away. Share away. Oh, I guess the baby Naked Firefly was saying that she already has enough sass, so she doesn't know if she wants her to get any more from Golden Girls. That's sass that you could just live with, though. So, and she's got 4 different types of sass she could get, potentially.
The sass you're dealing with now is probably from you.
You should just dishing back your own sass. Devin thinks that we need a timer with Caro's dogs barking.
No, you don't need that. No.
So I have a timer on that I have saved to my lists that has dogs barking, and it scares the crap out of everybody. So I stopped using it, even though the dogs are adorable. So
Yeah, this isn't like subtle dog barking. This is, we're going to rip your throat out barking, and you guys don't need to be subject to that.
yeah, between my shepherd and the roommate's pit bull, we have the I'm going to kill bark as well going on.
Mm-hmm.
So Haley was baking cookies, and one batch had to go back in the oven after about 2 minutes on the rack. So she grabbed it with her bare hand, and the pan was very far from cool. No kidding. That's just terrible.
I hope you're okay, friend.
Yeah. So Sarah taught high school for a semester, and until that point, they hadn't realized how many teachers were hoarders in their professional lives. It was impressive. Oh, yes, the hoarding is real. A lot of people that are hoping Haley is okay. We're all hoping that you're doing okay, and that it was just one of those like immediate, I know that's hot, registered in your brain kind of a thing.
Yeah, they encourage you in college to keep everything because they say you never know when you're going to need it again. Like, it's literally part of the curriculum at one point. Like,
yeah, it's hoarding 101 is basically taught.
Haley,
So,
I've done something like that before.
So Haley immediately shouted, "That was stupid," and had to carry around a bag of frozen vegetables for a couple hours. Still tender, but no permanent harm done.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that your hand is not permanently damaged. That is no good, friend.
I did that with a cast iron skillet that I was baking in the oven. I've
done it with the cast iron a couple of times.
Yeah, it was not the brightest moment.
I haven't quite gotten my hand on it, but I've gone to go towards it and then felt the heat radiating off of it just in enough time to be like, nope, that was stupid. Pot holder.
What are you doing?
I grabbed it and I didn't want to drop it because I didn't want to drop the food out of it. So I was like yelling while I put it on the stove. Like my fiance ran in. He's like, "What are you doing? Why would you let it go?" And I'm like, "I'm not going to drop it."
All my kitchen injuries involve steam. Like, that's all I'm going to say.
So no tea kettles for you then?
No, it's not even a tea kettle thing. It's just steam from somewhere.
Like pasta steam or?
Like when I was going through my culinary program, somebody said, "Hey, I left this thing in the thing. Will you just open it and grab it real quick?" And I had never used the machine before, and nobody had gone through the safety briefing with me. So I opened it and reached in. All the steam came out and hit my hand, and so I got a 2nd-degree burn from here all the way down to my wrist. But it was my practicum exam, and you get points knocked off if you've like gained an injury. So while I'm sitting there in horrible pain, I have like this wet cloth over my hand. I'm trying to look like, like this. I'm trying to do that while I'm explaining the food and the textures and stuff like that. And they're like, "That's very good. Thank you." And I was like, "Cool." And then I went straight to the kitchen, put my hand in a thing of ice. I was like, "I'm just going to stay here for a minute. Don't talk to me."
Just for a couple seconds. So it looks like we've had some other hand-related injuries. Wendy poured hot tea all over their hand last night. Naked Firefly is feeling the cast iron skillet in their soul. Wow. Theo's wanting to know if it's Haley's writing hand asking for a friend. Okay, so in a terrible segue fashion, but we did just talk about writing. So I wanted to discuss a little bit more about how we each plot, whether or not we're plotters or we're pantsers, which is such a stupid word. But discovery writer, whichever one that we are. So I kind of wanted to get your guys' feedback on what it is that you do and see what everybody in the chat, what they think about their plotting methods or other plotting methods. So how about we start with you, Ms. Carol, because I think yours are probably the most well-known, since usually we can see your plotting on the board behind you.
Yeah. Let me pull it up because I've got a spreadsheet for that. But on chink.
I knew you were gonna say it. I knew it.
It was coming. You knew it was coming. And then I can share it, and you guys can stare at me and wonder why I do this to myself. Screen share. So the reason I do it in a spreadsheet is because I like to cut and paste, and I like to edit. And so the easier that I can make those things happen, the happier I am. All right, I got it shared right there for you.
Okay. Let me. Oop.
Tamara's reaction to my spreadsheet.
Yeah, to the spreadsheet. Just
Spreadsheet sexual. You coined that phrase for me. Thank you.
yeah, that's true.
Well, it was like, truth.
Truth. No, there was no denial. It's now part of what I'm doing.
Yeah. So I'm not seeing it.
It should be right there. You may have to like move around or something. I don't know.
Do you have to scroll down or something?
Maybe.
While you do that, I'm just going to fill this in so that way when I talk, I can have it make more sense.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah. No, I don't.
Should be there. I see it on my screen. Here, I'll just take it off and I'll try again. How's that?
Okay.
I'm very determined, apparently, to show you this. All right. All right. I tried again.
Barbara, because she is so into spreadsheets.
Oh. This is a fact.
I'm still not seeing it.
I'm telling you, it's there.
Well,
I don't know why you can't see it. That sounds very strange to me. Okay, well, I'll just do a verbal explanation, and if you happen to find it. So, or... Huh?
We'll see if it pops up while you're talking about it.
Okay. So I have a spreadsheet for it, and the way that it works is that I've got a couple of tabs, and one of them is the minimalist tab, and that's like my scene name tab. So what I do with that is I track where a lot of the stuff that's happening in my story is going on, and I just use the 3-word summary. So that way, if I can see those 3 words, it will trigger my memory really fast. So that way I know what's going on in there. And it also lets me see where a lot of my story is. So, for example, when I first initially start drafting, I'm very Act 1 heavy, and then it kind of tapers off, which really isn't how that works. The act systems kind of work like a bell curve, where you got a little bit in the beginning, and then it goes up, and then it kind of like spikes downwards towards Act 3. So if I do all my scenes, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah. So again, like the 3-word summary. And so if I see that I have like this entire section right here, super heavy, and then there's like nothing going on in Act 2, I'm pretty confident that I have a plot problem and I have to go review that. And then the other thing that's really nice about if I do it this way, for example, the story that I'm working on right now, it's got 2 POVs. So if I don't want to like track it too much, I can, color code them and say, well, that's that person's POV, and then that's her POV, and then just flip back and forth on that. And then once I have this all kind of figured out, then I go into the scene breakdown, where I basically will like copy this and go into the scenes and put it right there. And then I start writing like the synopsis, and then I start filling out all the details. But what I will say is I usually do this process, the scene breakdown. I do that when I'm doing the revision phase after I finish the first draft, because that's when I start to like really nitpick it, and I'm tearing into like what exactly is happening, what is the purpose of this scene, which characters are where, what is my antagonist doing, and then what are my multiple plot themes that are going on. So there's that. And then in this template, I did a chapter breakdown. I don't actually use this. This is a freebie that I put out in one of my videos. So for individuals that wanted to do the chapter breakdown, that's in there. And then I have another tab for all my characters and what they're doing. And the one thing that's really important for me when I'm doing an outline is I have to know what the arc and agency of the characters are. Even if they're not the main characters, I need like every character to have some kind of agency, because that makes them more fleshed out. They're more dimensional, dynamic, all those fun words people like to use. And then the other thing in this template is that I did this for NaNoWriMo. It was one of my NaNoWriMo prep videos. So I put in a word counter for NaNoWriMo for people to track their word counts and what they were doing. And then if they did writing sprints, there's that in here too. So this is me being me. Hi.
Like, you're honest. This is just me.
Yeah, this is what I do.
No, it's good though. I mean, for somebody that is like a hardcore plotter, which is kind of what I would call you, it's good to be able to have it and have it in a format that makes sense to you.
It just saves me trouble later on because plot bunnies, as I like to call them, will pop up and they'll completely destroy my story. And when I do it this way, like I said, like the scene, making sure like there's the bell curve, making sure I've got all the character agencies, that saves me time in the revision. I discovery wrote one piece, and the amount of time I spent fixing stuff in the revision is the same amount of time I usually spent like in the prepping period. So one way or another, I'm spending that time somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. And what about you, Tamara? You had mentioned that you're a plantser.
Yeah, my method is not nearly that exacting. So
Mechanical.
it's gonna sound very like I'm a slack ass in comparison, but so what I tend to do is first I'll start with whatever the idea is. Generally, it's going to be a character, and there's going to be an overarching story. Because I write cozy mysteries, there's going to be a mystery of some sort, whether it's like the story that I'm writing right now, it's not a death. It's like she's being accused of being like a thief. So like a carjacking type of thief. So that's the mystery that we're solving. So I'll start with that overall idea and a few people who could be the potential like actual perpetrator of whatever the crime is. And I'll do kind of a not very exacting breakdown of some of the chapters and some of the things that I want to happen, but I leave a lot of it very open-ended, and I'll kind of figure out if, like, let's say I'm starting chapter 5 or whatever, I'll figure out what's happening in chapter 5 before I write out chapter 5, but it'll be more of like a paragraph of notes, and then I'll go from there, and then I'll leave myself some notes for where to start with tomorrow. And that's kind of how I do like the first draft.
Okay.
If that
works really well though. Like everybody plans out their stories completely differently.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I don't want to share my screen anymore. Take that back. That's mine.
Yeah. So I am I guess, revised pantser. I'm a plotter now, but my first several books were purely discovery writing. And so I know what it's like to be like, to not plot anything out whatsoever and to just kind of go with the flow of the story as it goes. But I became a plotter a couple of years ago, and I don't use a spreadsheet. This is the first time that I think I've not echoed Caro in that regard of, I have a spreadsheet for that.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a lot of spreadsheets, but not for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I usually do is I'm an index carder.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have a very, very visual right in front of me, even when I'm not writing. So I'll do that, and I set things up in categories. I use basically an entire wall in usually what's my office. And I have chalkboards that I put above things so that I know where character arcs are, and I use colored chalk. I use all sorts of stuff, colored Post-its, and move things around as I need to. And then I use different colors of markers so that I know where I'm missing things, highlighters and stuff like that. And that way I have a very free floating type of wall where I can just move stuff around. It works the same as a spreadsheet. It's just very analog rather than digital.
Some individuals like to do the texture thing, and some people like to just do it that way. So that's, I mean, whatever works, right? Like, there's no wrong way as long as you have still an outstanding product at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I don't know if you're interested, but I did put the link in the private chat if you wanted to share that with anybody, because I saw somebody was just like, oh my God, and I was like, you can have it. I made it for you guys.
The nice thing is Caro is always willing to share. Yeah, I'll pull that up and get that popped in there now.
Yeah, I'm not like a hoarder like that. If I make something and you guys think it's useful, I'm like, take it, it's yours.
Yeah, and no real credit needed for it. It kills me when I go and people are like, I created this free thing that I want everybody to use, but then that free thing that everybody uses is like branded 18 different ways from Sunday, and it gets in the way of me actually using the product. And I'm like, I get it to a point because I'm all about branding, but also don't get it because I, don't know. I'm like, I don't get why, because I can't use it if you do that. But yeah, so Wendy was saying that they enjoy watching other people's process and even download some of the software to attempt it, and then it just sits on the computer. Got some construction or something going on outside my house, so if everybody can hear that, I'm really sorry.
You're fine.
I thought it was like balloons being blown up,
I think
like helium. I was like, what is going on?
She's gonna have a party, yo.
I think they're hosing something off. There's a bus stop right in front of my house, so the city routinely comes by and like pressure washes the bus stops, and sometimes it's really loud in my house for some reason. So Eva decided to join us. They had been just sitting there working all by their lonesome for no reason. We were on their screen and everything and just couldn't hear us. But Sia was saying that plot is the weakest area, so I plot all my chapter scenes, my outline, and write my characters. That makes sense. I do a lot of discovery writing with my characters. Usually I'll do like an initial brainstorm. I'll plot out 2 or 3 things about them, and then I plot where they start and where I need them to end to make the book work. And I'll go through and I don't know, I kind of draft little short stories where it doesn't have to make a lot of sense. It's just showing me how they would react in certain situations. So sometimes it's like, I know for a fact that if this main character or side character, whoever, was in an armed robbery, how would they react to it? I have that same short story for every single character in like all of my stories. If it's like my fantasy world, which I haven't. My first book that I published was fantasy, and that was Once Upon a Time. But it's now out of print. If it's in the fantasy world, it's always if they were being robbed by bandits on the road, like highwaymen on the road, how would they react? It's always, I have that exact same thing. And then that tells me their reaction area. It tells me where they're starting at, what their privilege is, what their, all sorts of different stuff. So let's see, StreamYard skipped. Oh, Allie Unicorn Fan is watching the stream screen through a cat. I can tell you for a fact that is not an easy thing to do. It's like where you're just trying to like smush the cat's back down, and they're always wanting to like arch up and move around. And
then they put like their ears in front of your vision, and you move, and then they move their head, and yeah.
Yep. They've always got to like maintain eye contact with you, So, Allie says they suck with plotting and more of a pantser than anything. When I try plotting, my story tends to change a ton. I kind of like to see what happens as I write too. A lot of people like to be surprised. I can say that I plot, and I still occasionally am surprised by the way the story wants to go, or I'll surprise myself with a really good idea and be like, well, I didn't think about that while I was brainstorming. So then I have to kind of reset myself a little bit and go, do I need to change some stuff, or should I not change some stuff and use this idea for another story at some point? So, and StreamYard's being an asshat.
Evil StreamYard.
Yep. All right, Barbara Howard is officially proposing marriage to you, Caro, for, I'm guessing, the spreadsheet.
It's all yours. Do whatever you want.
It doesn't come with the bonds of matrimony involved. So
No.
you can have
No,
it.
just have the spreadsheet.
She's willing to give the milk away for free. No worries.
Mm-hmm.
So CO tried pantsing, but it doesn't work for me. I'm an architect, not a gardener. I think that's the best way I have heard plotters and pantsers described, architects versus gardeners.
I like how we keep coming up with new terminology for it because it's kind of like, well, you know, this thing that you've made, I'm too special for that. I'm making a different word.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me, but like, don't, you can wave a finger if you're kind of like, no, but.
Yeah. So Barbara desperately needs that kind of organization in their life right now. I need that kind of organization all the time. I just know I can't keep up with that kind of organization.
Mm-hmm.
The Naked Firefly is a plantser, like Tamara. I write out a very small summary of the scenes before writing. Then when I edit, I outline everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Allie Unicorn has a basic plot to have an idea of where I want to go, but that doesn't mean that is where I will end up. You know, Allie, I did that when I transitioned from being a pantser to being a plotter. It was hard at first to stay on track and keep going with the plot that I had outlined and had set up and ready to go. As I did it more and more, and as I held myself accountable to staying on track, it was much easier. And I very rarely get super surprised. I'll get small surprises here and there, but I very rarely have anything that will derail it to where I don't end up pretty close to where I thought I was going to end up at. That's what seems to work the best. Haley has a terrible tendency to refuse to let things happen in their story. The best way they've found is to confront that is to outline. Yes. I'm a big proponent of outlines. I outline my YouTube videos. I outline my writing. I outline my vlogs. I mean, even if I just vlog on something.
Well, when it comes to outlining other things, I definitely outline, like if I'm writing something nonfiction, then I have, I outline it. If I'm doing, depending on the YouTube video, so let's say if I'm doing something, let's see, looking at this list here. So when I do when I finish the NaNoWriMo wrap-up video, the Camp Nano wrap-up, that's not going to have an outline. But when I do the one about the book Bible, that will have an outline. So I guess it depends on the topic and what I'm trying to convey to people. But if it's more of a vlog type of thing, I don't really do an outline for it.
Yeah, I think my videos are like the one things that I definitely do pants outside of doing the drunk book reviews because I have to take notes on the book to refer to. Like everything after that's just being like, hi, I'm here and I'm going to talk about things. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can't do that for some reason. I don't know if it's because, you know, I don't know. Everyone would get like 45-minute videos from me because I like to talk. So I could just ramble on for ages and forever and a day and not have a problem with, and then trying to cut it down later, I'd just be like, but this part's so important, I can't cut it down, and I need it here because I have to stack on it later. So I keep myself concise by using an outline. And then that way I know not to go off on too many tangents and I know not to tell too many stories. I try to give the right balance, but again, I'm still just learning on my YouTube channel. So I've only been doing this for a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
So still trying to get to where
You'll get there.
Yeah. So I don't script everything though. I just outline, and that way I can hit bullet points. So before I wrote mysteries, I was a pantser. Sarah says they had to become a plotter to get a mystery written, but I loved it so much that I haven't gone back. I'm a scene cards and full outline kind of gal now. Yes, Sarah. That was what I ended up doing. I pantsed my way through my very first fantasy book, even through the 2 other books that were supposed to go with it but didn't get released at the time. And then I tried to become a plotter for my first 2 mystery novels and my paranormal mysteries. And I was more of a lightweight plotter and still pantsing it pretty much. But for this third book and on, which I've gone back to rewrite those first 3 fantasy books, I've gone back to rewrite those. I've become a full plotter for those. So Barbara is thanking you for the document. Scrivener helps them stay on target, is what Barbara is saying. So Sarah popped up and into the feed and immediately had to say that outlines are for the weak. Yeah.
I'm very weak. I'm super weak then, Sarah.
I'm kidding, of course, she says. All right, so StreamYard just jumped on me. We have Natasha Levesque. Good to see you, Natasha. I don't think you've been on my channel before, so hi and welcome. As you can see, I welcome all weirdos.
Yep, weirdos welcomed.
Yep. And you all are my writing weirdos. So Eva's saying that for me, I can't keep up with my story if I write it as it comes to me. I jot things down, I write out of order, I set it up in order and put it together like a puzzle. I do a lot of non-chronological writing as well. I bounce around all over the place. So I totally feel that. I'm sure, Caro, with your very methodical approach, you probably write more chronologically, or am I just assuming that? Or
yeah, I basically start from the beginning and go to the end. But if I do get stuck on a scene, I don't sit there and try to figure it out. If I have to, I'll skip it and come back to it later. So, and usually if I write the scene that comes after, I'll figure out why the previous one didn't work, so I can just go back and fix it later.
Okay. True. What about you, Tamara? Do you write chronologically, or because mysteries, it's sometimes hard for us to bounce around with mysteries.
I tend to write chronologically, but if I get stuck, then I'll skip that point and come back to it and just keep going. I try to plow forward.
Yeah, better to have your draft 80% done than to stop at 15% because you can't figure out a scene.
Yes, yeah. Which I am still currently having Caro remind me of that on a regular basis, because I will pound my head for a while on a particular scene. But I think it's because I already bounce around, and I feel like if I bounce around even more, I'll lose whatever weird ass track is going on, like Dr. Seussical type style of road I have in my head. I don't know. So Allie was saying mostly they have a basic idea of what's going to happen. They'll have a first kiss as a point, but nothing else really until they get that point in the story. Then they'll make some notes.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. I think it's easy to start off at a specific point, even if it's not necessarily chronological. It's easy to pick a starting point sometimes. Because for me, I don't know, I assume it's like this way for most writers. It's like a little movie that just suddenly starts playing in my head, and sometimes it's midway through the movie, and I have to go back at some point. But Glory just popped in. Hi, Glory. Good to see you. Yaza as well. Good to see you. Natasha says that they have never heard of any of us, but they were looking for an impromptu live write-in. Hey! So we're being recommended to more people than just Tamara. Yay! Happy to be here and see new AuthorTube faces. Well, we are happy to have you here, Natasha.
Yeah, but YouTube recommending you to me was definitely a cheat. So it's already subscribed. So
yeah, nobody's getting my subscription notifications, but randomly they are getting recommended for my video. Whatever. So yes, as Tamara was saying in the chat, there are links in the description for a bunch of other write-ins that are coming later tonight, which that will be Nicole is immediately after, like literally immediately after my write-in, and then Sarah will be later tonight. That's Sarah with an H, and then Danny will be after Sarah a little bit later in the evening.
Yep, all the write-ins. Yeah, I'll keep him busy.
And below that, I have a link to literally everybody that's on Caro's spreadsheet I have a link to everybody's channels, so you can see everybody that does it. And then
Mhm.
Carol has an amazing spreadsheet that
Yeah.
has both times, which I have linked down there below as well. All right, so Haley says they like to start with the midpoint and climax or resolution and just think of what decisions characters have made to get to those places. I have a friend who writes like that. She writes kind of coming of age romance, and then under a pen name, she writes a little more hardcore romance. It's not quite erotica, but it's a little steamier romance.
Steamy.
Yeah, she likes to start with whatever is the climax point of the story, and then move around, work backwards and stuff like that too. So Glory was saying that the stream was recommended to them when they logged on YouTube Roku. Whee!
That's cool.
So everybody hitting the like button has helped, because that's the whole point of really hitting the like button, is to get the streams out to more people, more writers that want to be productive. Speaking of productivity, I think it's time for another sprint. That was an actual decent segue for a change.
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was way much better. Way much better. All right.
Words are hard.
My segue might have been way much better, but I don't know that sentence was. So it's okay. All right, so we will sprint in 3, 2, 1, sprint. Okay. How did everyone do on the last sprint?
I got through this chapter.
Okay.
I decided since I was editing a romance, I was like, maybe I should look at my Romancing the Beat book. And then I was like, I'm missing 3 scenes. That's fantastic. So I know what I'll be doing later.
Yeah, that's important.
Mhm.
That is important. So I managed to knock out 2.5 more Pinterest graphics, so that'll be nice. We had a couple of people pop out for looks like for naps and for bedtime. Alley Cat had to pop out, might come out a little bit later. But they did manage to finish chapter 5 finally, so happy about that before leaving. Jennifer Brown had a good question. Wanted to know that they're trying to design 3D avatars for their characters and wanted to know if I knew of a program that would let them put a character in a wheelchair. I do not know of a program specifically. I know in the past I've done a hodgepodge of things. I have used my Bitmojis and then gone and found, or I've used Bitmojis in general, and then I've gone and found various like things to interact with, whether it's chairs or different things like that. And then I've done a little bit of fun photoshopping to make them work together. But my recommendation probably would be Doll Cecile Runo. She does a lot more with her graphics and with her design, so she might know. Unless Caro, you happen to know of any?
No, Jennifer actually asked me this morning, and I went through what I had, and I was like, sorry, friend, I don't have anything.
Okay. Tamara, any?
I am very bad with graphics. I can give no advice that would be any type of good.
Okay. Well, my recommendation would probably be asking Doll, or you could check with Joanne Ninja Hen. She does a lot of graphic work as well. Hers is usually animated, but she may know. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Jennifer was also concerned because apparently somebody gave me a dislike on the video, which is where I'm too sparkly. It's my first ever dislike. I'm too sparkly to be dented by it. It's not a big deal. I got a thick skin. I'm a writer. So she was interrogating who might have given it to me. CEO was saying that the only time they have ever hit a dislike button was in response to the ARCs Are Free scandal, and it's because she didn't own up to her mistake and called their criticism hate. I think we all know that scandal quite well. Very, very well. Too well. So those of us that had channels at the time, we usually said something about it. So Gloria is saying that attending several author write-ins has helped me make a good habit of clicking like early so they don't forget later. I do that too. I usually tend to click like pretty soon into the show just because I really want the AuthorTube community to reach as many potential writers or as many writers that are wanting to be productive as possible, and to show that we all struggle and we all have different approaches to our writing, and so I tend to click pretty early. CO, you are more than welcome to the I'm too sparkly phrase. You can borrow it all you want. I tell people I'm either too sparkly or too weird. I'm either too sparkly to be dented or I'm too weird to be bothered. So Naked Firefly had to bounce. It's past bedtime for them. So definitely past bedtime for you and the Golden Girl baby. All right. Glory is working on the very important task of eating a first meal of the day. Yeah, I'm feeling very good. That sucks. And there's nothing like being woken up when you're trying to sleep and you're on like a really good sleep-a-thon. Everybody saying good night.
Be loving that sleep over here. My spouse actually just went to take a nap. He's like, wake me up when you're done. I was like, you have 45 minutes and I'm coming in there.
In other words, I'm not waking yet. I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, So Natasha said that it was short but a productive sprint and is getting ready to leave. So good to see you. Thanks for coming out, Natasha. I appreciate it. Barbara got 175 words and some lunch. Lunch is good.
I need lunch.
Sarah is at 379 words. Good job. And Haley got 3 buttons designed.
Very nice.
Very good job. Jennifer was saying thanks for the reference for Doll and Joan. Hopefully they'll be able to help. So, and Adega is here. Hey, Adega, it's good to see you.
Hello, Adega.
All right, so since we don't have a whole lot of time left, and I would like to get at least a few more graphics done, I think I'm just going to push us right into another sprint, if that's good with you two.
Sounds great.
Okay. So we will do that. Let me get my timer reset. Or hopefully not the 325-minute timer.
Oof.
That's a long sprint. I might go and like do some groceries during that sprint.
Yeah, I know. I would too. I could watch a movie and still get some writing in at the same time.
As Devin said, that is a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So one more time, and we will sprint in 3, 2, 1. Sprint. Okay. How did everybody do on the last sprint?
I fleshed out some more scenes and did a character study, and it's pretty good.
Okay, cool. How about you, Tamara?
I found some things that I had asked myself to find out, and I figured those things out. It's like I leave notes to myself in my manuscript. Do you guys do that?
Yes.
Yes.
I was figuring out what I was missing.
Yeah. Yeah, I struggled over the last couple of graphics for Pinterest just because I was trying to change it up a little bit from some of the other ones, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see which ones people pin and which ones people like. We had a couple of people. We had a person pop in. Dick Moonstruck came in during the last sprint. Good to see you. Hopefully, you had a chance to write a little bit. Looks like Wendy Scribbles had to go help the little one do his homework and discovered they have a pin with a red cover that writes in blue and another pin with a blue cover that writes in red. Yay, chaos! So, it's like mostly it was just talking that we were on the writing sprint. Oh, yep, and Wendy actually said, "Yay, let chaos reign supreme." Looks like Wendy Scribbles did 204 words. Haley got a little reading done. Sarah Keefe prepped a whole chicken for the oven, about to put it into roast for dinner. Now I'm definitely hungry.
Ooh, that sounds great.
Yeah. Alley Cat has been listening as they take a nap and rest eyes. Well, that's nice. I appreciate it. Thank you. So that pretty much, that takes us kind of right up to the end of the stream. Normally, there were a couple of announcements I wanted to make before we do our outros. I wanted to remind people that the individuals that are streaming, that at least that I know of, immediately after me and later in the evening are linked down below, along with Caro's spreadsheet that has times for everybody in the world. Not in the world, but in our little net.
That I know of, yeah.
Yeah, that we know of. So you can go and find that. And then just reminding people that AuthorTube karaoke will be this Tuesday, May the 12th. It'll be from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I will have Sako Toomey and Doll Cecile Bruno as my co-hosts again. So basically what this is you'll have an opportunity to be on screen, just like these lovely ladies are with me today, and sing your song, and then we'll rotate through people just like it's normal karaoke. Some people will be taken off of the screen while others are put on the screen.
Nice.
We'll do the live chat while we're doing it. So Zoe writes got 575 words, so close to 30,000.
Oh, good job, Fred.
You could do it. You could do it. I know you can. All right, and another announcement I wanted to make is that Savvy Lizer of Savvy Writes book, her book release, One Final Vinyl, will be coming out May 15th. She will have a live release party on that date. Her channel is linked below. You should totally come and see it. I know I'll be co-hosting, but there will be a whole bunch of other co-hosts as well. And I think it's just going to be a fun virtual release party that we can all really enjoy. And then the AuthorTube seminar series, also affectionately called Wordstock. That's a word. There we go. It is scheduled for May 16th and will have 18 writers participating in it. So lots of fun stuff from AuthorTube coming up here in the next, just basically in this next week. Thank you very much, CO. CO says that last karaoke was a rockin' good time. I'm glad that everybody enjoyed it.
I like your pun. Very nice, yeah.
Well, the pun was good. The pun was good. I'm glad that everybody enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun hosting it, and I'm just a big old weirdo for karaoke and for my writing weirdos, so I thought meshing the two together was a good idea. All right, so we will go ahead and do our outros. How about we start with you, Carol?
Yeah, sure. My name's Kara Brown. I'm an urban fantasy author and the operations director over at Otherworld Inc. I came here today to actually work on a story for Faye Black, who's my other pen name that I write under, and I managed to analyze some stuff. I feel pretty good about my progress. My channel's got me talking about books and story stuff and whatever else comes to mind. So if you want to check that out, please feel free to, and that's me.
Yay! All right, Tamara?
And my name's Tamara Woods, and I'm a cozy mystery author. And I was working on this prequel, so I think that it's heading in a good direction so far, but I still need to review everything that I've written and go on with that. I'll be on Sarah's channel tonight, and that link is in the description. I do my live streams on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, and on Tuesdays, after your karaoke, I host #WriteStuff on Tuesday on the Twitter. So if anyone wants to hang out and chat about writing in a text, then come over to Twitter.
It will definitely be fun. So, okay, and I am, of course, BC Brown. This is BC Brown Books, where I like to host writing streams like this so that we can all get our productivity on. I always have some of my weirdo writing friends on here, which, you know, those are the only kind of friends that I want to keep around me. Yep. And so I am a paranormal, mystery, urban fantasy, and contemporary women's fiction author. I also post videos on writing and how to do it better, at least how to do it better in my opinion, on Mondays and Wednesdays. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have going on. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out today and getting your words done and just being productive in general. I really appreciate it. And we will see people in the future. Bye.
Bye, friends.
Bye, y'all.